Welcome to Heal Talk Tuesdays with Liza, where transformation begins as we evoke, embrace, and evolve. Greetings, and welcome to Heal Talk Tuesdays. This is Liza. It's so good to be here with you, isn't it? Well, welcome to the Heal Talk Tuesday. As you know, Heal Talk Tuesday is coming to you each and every week at 12 noon and bringing you thoughts, information, inspiration, motivational, and healthy tips. So today I wanted to talk about something that has come up twice in the last week, and I got an email. By the way, I want to say, if I get to cough, please, my apologies, because I'm recovering from a very bad cold. I don't know if you got it or not. Seems like everyone in the world has had this cough, this flu. Some call it COVID's cousin, and it can be just about anything. But I believe it's the season. It's change, and when something outside is changing from hot to cold, there's this change, and the pollen, the weather, the trees, the wind, and the wind brings everything. So it's just about anything, and it's part of life, and we go along with it. As you know, I don't take medicine, so everything I do is natural. There's the honey and the ginger and turmeric, everything. So that's one of the healthy ways I cope with everything. And I think by doing brisk walks and everything, I also come to strengthen my immune system, and I do those shots, the turmeric shots. It's good for my immune system. I get it at Costco, and I drink one of those shots every single day. So that's the tip for how to deal with cold. But today's message is a little bit more on that. And we want to talk about self-love, self-acceptance, and self-esteem. And that's the reason I wanted to do this, because I got an email, and I want to read the email to you. And it is by someone who says, "Dear Liza, thank you for your weekly Heal Talks. In one episode, you spoke of self-care and self-love. I understand self-care, daily needs and everything, but self-love, I do not know how to. What is self-love? How can I love myself more when all my life I have been told I will amount to nothing, that I am not as pretty or smart as my sister, who was the #1 cheerleader in high school and prom queen. To this day, she still outshines me. Now, as a grown-up, I have self-confidence issues, and nothing I do works. Please help me. I will tune in next week in hopes you have an answer for me." Well, Jacqueline, I want to say thank you very much for your message that you sent. And let me shed a light. First of all, how are self-love and self-esteem different? We look for love everywhere, but most of us don't know how to love ourselves. And we can receive as much love as we give to ourselves. What is it they say? If you don't love yourself, how can somebody else love you? But here's the thing. When you have this desire, many are good in having compassion and love for others, but forget to give that to themselves. So self-love is one step beyond what is involved in compassion and love. Okay? So there are few stages, and I'm going to go and touch upon some of the stages. One is, there is a saying, boost your confidence and build self-esteem. So when we say boost your confidence, that means you are someone who believes you already have confidence. Now you have to boost it, make it bigger, bolder, right? But building self-esteem is like, in a way, it's suggested. You don't have it. Now you have to learn how to build it. And I believe that is where we start, because you got to have self-esteem for any change in life, for anything that you want to improve in your life, to believe that you are worthy of it, to believe and have faith in yourself, to know that, yes, I can succeed. I can be as good as my sister. Maybe not in cheerleading, but in something else. So let's talk about this. Self-esteem. Most people seek approval from the outside. So perhaps you were seeking validation and approval from your parents, and or looking for the validation and the words, the kinder words or something, and I am so sorry that they didn't give it to you. But it seems like you forgot to give it to yourself, or maybe you didn't learn how to give it to yourself, which I understand, because our subconscious mind stores information, and that information is the information that gets to replayed over and over and over. And if that is the messaging that you believed, that's the key word, that you believed it was that she is better than you, and the messaging that she's prettier than you, and you started walking in her shadow, right, is not necessarily that she felt the same. It's just she got approval and validation from others for being that. And she was good in cheerleading. Yes, she was the prom queen. But that was high school. What's happened? And you're not shedding that light in what has happened since then, being an adult that you are. So where are you working? How successful are you? And if you believe you're not successful, what is the success that you want? How can you measure success in your life? Is it being married? Is it having a bigger house? Is it having more money? How can you measure? And that is my question to you, which I believe if you have a session or two with me, we can build on that confidence of yours. So here's basically what when building the self-esteem is that you stop blame. Number one, you blame yourself and you blame your parents, or stop that blame of what they used to tell her versus you. So once we start that finger pointing and blame, that means we point the finger at us. And that resentment, the grudge, the blame that you have inside you, even if you love your sister, that negative feeling still remains inside. I want to digress for a moment and just say, I had a client a few months ago who came for something that she had kept a secret in her family's life for the longest time. In her opinion, it was a big secret, and yet it was very insignificant once she shared it. And I helped her feel confident enough and put the resentment and everything away and just share it with her son and daughter. Once she did that, in all the years that she wanted to lose weight, and she has come to me for weight loss because I work with the mental and the emotional part that we hold on to, and that is quite heavy. Negative feelings that we store, we suppress, we hold on to without realizing consciously. The subconscious mind is holding that information, and that was a heavy burden. Now, when it's a heavy burden, it sits in your body. So, I don't know what your weight is, but if there are grudges, blames, things towards your family, towards your sister, I want you to take an account and start writing, expressing, and sharing. So your first step was even sending that email to me, and I want to say kudos to you for doing that. Now let's go back to what is self-acceptance, right? So far we did the self-esteem. Now we come to self-acceptance, because my 3E method is we evoke what was, right? It's like turn the leaf to see what's under the leaf, under the rock, that it's so heavy, in order for us to come to embracing, which is self-acceptance. Accepting yourself for who you are, just as you are, with all your flaws, with all the negatives, with all the strengths, with all your beauty, inner beauty, whatever it is that you have. It's despite your failures and limitations. That's it. Here's my suggestion for you. What if, just for 1 minute, if you were to close your eyes and go back in time, perhaps high school time, when your sister was outshining you and everything else that was happening, and I don't know how much younger you are. And maybe you didn't like cheerleaders, and you had this idea about who cheerleaders are, okay? That they're constantly happy, they're like the center of attention, and now you're not the center of attention. But for 1 minute, if you were to close your eyes and go to you in high school, and if you were to sit next to her and let her know how wonderful she is, how bright she is, how smart she is, how valuable she is, and how much her sister loves her, despite being a cheerleader or prom queen, that when she looks at you, either at home, when you're playing, when you were younger, there was no competition. It was just two sisters. And if you can just look at yourself at that age and say, she's got qualities that her sister envies, that she looks up to you, even if you are younger. That you have qualities no one else has seen, but you know it. And if you can share those qualities and remind that younger girl who she is, just for a moment. And if you can become more self-forgiving and let go of self-judgment, that's the first step in accepting who you are just as you are today. And instead of comparing yourself to others, either in positive ways or negative ways, come to appreciate who you are. That's what self-acceptance is. Now, when it comes to self-love, it might be difficult to come from 0 to 100 to self-love. But self-love and self-esteem differ in this, that it's like self-esteem is an evaluation. You're looking to judge, analyze, and criticize, right? And self-acceptance is just an attitude. It's like love combined, it's like feeling and action combined with one another. Anything we want to change in life, to become better, to become healthier, to be lose the weight or change a habit or a behavior, you must start with self-acceptance, then come to build your self-esteem, to know that you are worthy of the change, you are worthy of the success, you are worthy to be number one, you are worthy as much, not more, not less, because who you are is so unique, so beautiful, that you forgot to mention that to yourself. Now, self-love is healthy. It is not selfish, it is not self-indulgent, it's not egoistic. It's saying, I do love myself. That's it. If no one else loves me, just like the beautiful song that Miley Cyrus did about flowers, and that after her breakup, she did this beautiful song. When I hear that song, I blast it. And the same happened last week. I had those beautiful tulips, right? So my client walks in, he, not she, and in the afternoon he says, beautiful flowers, who got it for you? I said, I get flowers for myself. I treat myself to flowers. And there was a time that I used to do it every week. And now I do it every other week because I love having flowers surrounding myself. If you see my posts and everything, I'm very much grounded. I ground myself with the beautiful things and that I like to surround myself. That's self-love, that's self-care, that's self-acceptance, that's self-nurturing. And no one has to buy it for me. It's the same as the song. I can buy myself flowers, and I can take myself dancing, and I can take myself to the beach. I can do all that. Of course, it would be amazing to go with someone that I share it with, that I love, that I care, that I can hold hands and lean on and share the beauty with another person. But you can take care of yourself. And that's where the independence comes. So most people think too little of themselves and not too much, and because they've been told stop being so selfish. And being selfish is okay, not self-centered. That means everybody has to do everything for me. No, that's not what I am saying. But selfish means I do care about myself, my surrounding, and I know what I want. So that is what building is. Building self-esteem and self-love and self-care. So they say love thy neighbor as much as you love yourself. So some love others more than they love themselves. Here's what I will say. Recognize what you're good at. We're all good at something. And whether it's cooking, singing, working, excelling in whatever it is that you do. Not everyone is meant to be a doctor. Not everybody is meant to be a nurse, an attorney, CPA, a housewife, a mother. I am not a mother. but I have surrounded myself with lots of kids, and I do a lot of service organizations and things that I do with children. So I'm good with that. And build better relationships, first with yourself, that younger version of yourself, and then with your friends. I did a post just yesterday that Facebook reminded me of a picture, and then I put two pictures that I have two best friends. One, I've known her since first grade, the other from the beginning of high school, and we're still friends, and we still talk, and we still get together. Any relationship, it's easy to make friends, but to keep a friendship or a relationship going is something that you nurture. And nurturing starts with you. So be kind to yourself. That's the key. Before you love yourself, learn how to be kind. And it's okay to be assertive and know what you want, what flowers you like, what colors you like. I love scarves. Scarves are they are my signature, right? My necklace is my signature. My scarf is my signature. And start saying no. Stop being a yes person. Yes to everything. Just because it's their opinion, it doesn't mean it's good for you. Again, just because they say it's good for you does not mean it is good for you. You have your own opinion of what is right, what is wrong. And give yourself permission to be perfectly imperfect. That's it. You are a prom queen. Maybe not at high school, but you can go dance anywhere and be the queen. You can dance in your room and be your own queen. And if you have children, and dance with them. So those are my suggestions. Self-esteem, self-acceptance, self-kindness brings self-love. And I hope today's message was beneficial to you. Again, thank you, and everyone who watches, please subscribe, like, and if you have anything you would like me to speak about, share, bring forth, and interview people that you might find interesting, by all means, let me know. My name is Liza Boubari. I'm your expert hypnotherapist, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Until then, God bless you, and may the universal light surround you always. Bye-bye. And if you like this, share it, subscribe, and go to YouTube, and you'll see the rest of all my podcasts.